Look, being jacked isn't good enough anymore, right? I remember when I was jacked, but I was still working my 9 to 5 job, right? I had a good physique, I had high energy levels, all that stuff. But there was just something missing, right? I remember every time when I went to work, I hated it. I dreaded it. I did not like it. I didn't want to be there at all, right? And it just felt like it wasn't fulfilling, right? Imagine being in shape. You have all these people around you asking you for advice, but you just feel like something is missing. You still feel like you're locked up in a cage. You still feel like you're meant for something so much more, right? That's exactly how I felt about 3 to 4 months ago, right? I was in shape. I had a good physique. All of these different things, but I didn't know how to make money from my online coaching business. I didn't want to work for somebody else, right? Like having somebody else tell you what to do, no matter how in shape you are, no matter how confident you are. When you work for somebody and you can't go anywhere you want in the world, you simply feel locked up. You're not able to enjoy life at its fullest potential, right? You're already in shape, but imagine if you're in shape and you could move wherever you want. Like me, I'm currently out here in Miami. I moved here about 2 months ago, right? And honestly, being able to monetize online and make money where, I'm living in my own terms changed everything for me, right? Like the amount of fulfillment of not just being in shape, but literally being able to live anywhere changed the game for me, right? And honestly, how can you see all these other people who are jacked live the life you want? They have the skill to make money from their passion of going to the gym. How can you see all these different people, but you stay there literally the same, working your job when you know there's people with a less credibility than you, like they have a worse physique than you, but they're making so much more money, and you know that you could deliver better client results. You know that you could help so much people. You know you have this skill that you could change so much people's lives, but you're stuck literally slaving your way to your job, right? I had an epiphany moment, me personally, when I used to be a personal trainer, right? I used to be a personal trainer. I was also a soccer coach. I was also doing fragrance sales specialist. I was also doing lifeguard, right? I was working all of these different jobs. And I was super big, right? I had this knowledge that I knew of changing my own physique, because I did change my physique. And the thing that I would enjoy in life is actually working out, right? That's something I found so much enjoyment in. But every time I would go to my job, I just felt like I felt locked up, right? Being stuck, literally in a room, in a desk, listening to other people, like listening to a schedule that someone else created for you. That just wasn't gonna cut it for me, And I was building my business at that time. I didn't know what I was doing. I was posting tons of content. I was posting tons of reels, because I was like, I see these other fitness coaches who have a worse physique than me, live wherever they want, have location freedom, have time freedom, move out to any city. I saw these people do it, so I was watching videos on other people doing it, right? Like through Instagram, through YouTube. I knew what was possible. So I started posting content, right? Then I became super focused, right? I posted as much content as possible with no clear strategy. And it felt like I was just shouting at a void, right? Because I did not see any result Here's the thing. When you don't have like a proper system that works, it's like you essentially rowing your boat as hard as possible, but you don't have a proper direction of where you're going, right? And so that's what I did, right? I woke up at 4:30 a.m. in the morning for over 400 days straight, just posting content, no strategy, trying to build my online coaching business to monetize it. And things didn't work out, right? But then I realized how important it was to do the right things, how important it was to actually have someone guide you, someone who has actually done it before, right? Like Alexander the Great, every great emperor, every great person in history that achieved something massive, they all had mentors. They all had people to guide them, right? And it's just crazy because as soon as I did that, as soon as I got someone to actually help me, someone who achieved that thing that I wanted to achieve, I was able to come out here, right? I literally had to put my ass on fire. Like I needed to think in a state of abundance, right? Because that thing that was trapping me was that fear that I couldn't do it, that doubt, that thing that lurks in your mind, holding you back, right? And if that thing holds you back, you're gonna end up in the same cycle that you're in, literally for the rest of your life, right? Think about it. In order to create a new outcome, you have to put new inputs, right? It's impossible to get what you want by doing the same thing that you have, right? You have to do something completely different to get what you want. And that was the same case for me. It was honestly a scary jump, right? I had people around me, family members, being like, why are you so focused? Why are you so obsessed doing this? Let's go to that concert. Let's go hang out. I had to say so many no's. Work 18 hours a day. Work multiple jobs. Invested in tons of mentorships to actually make this happen. Right? And now I'm here. Right? And it's possible because like I had a client, Caleb, who got 6 clients online as a fitness coach. He fully went online. Where he could live anywhere. Aryan got 30K cash collected. Justin, literally within a month of being inside my mentorship, like he's in top-notch shape, right? But as soon as he had a right system to monetize his passion, he made 3.1K online from just being in shape. Now, could you imagine you being jacked and you also living in the city that you want? Like there's literally a yacht right there. There's a yacht right there. There's a yacht right there. There's so abundance. It's this abundance in this other side, right? But you have to simply believe it's possible, because if you don't believe it's possible, if you don't take that leap of faith, then you're going to be stuck in that same cycle. Now, what good is a life full of regrets, right? Like, think about it. When you die, do you want to regret not taking that leap of faith? Imagine a bird that doesn't jump and that doesn't have the opportunity to fly in the sky, all because it has doubts, right? When a bird initially jumps, it jumps from a state of abundance. It jumps from a state of opportunity, which is what allows it to see the world from a different point of view, from a different perspective. And that's going to be the same thing for you if you don't take that leap of faith, right? I was in such pressure when I first initially moved to Miami. There was times where I wasn't going to have money to pay for my place. I wasn't going to have money to pay for my food, but I clutched it up. I used the right systems and I made money. I got clients coming in, right? And it's the same systems I teach my clients, like, which is how they've been able to generate money, right? And they've been able to monetize their passion. And this is on the other side, right? Not too long ago, I was in that exact same situation as you. I was working that job, same cycle. You have to interrupt your pattern, right? If you don't interrupt your pattern from the decisions that you make, then nothing is gonna change, right? You can't expect to live the life you want to live if you're not willing to sacrifice for it. Like, how could you, would that even be fair to the other people? No, it wouldn't, right? Which is why as soon as you go all in, you use the right systems, it allows you to shortcut that process. It allows you to go all in, but you have to change your state of mind. You have to think in a state of abundance in order to take action, because I know everyone tells you to take action, right? Everyone's like, oh, just take action. How do you take action? You take action by altering your state of mind. In order to change and alter your state of mind, you have to do things that energize you. You have to operate out of a sense of possibilities. You have to operate out of a sense of abundance, that it is possible. Like even simple things, like maybe drinking mango juice or stepping out in nature alters your behavior. It alters your mind, right? It alters your thoughts. And after it alters your thoughts, it allows you to think in new ways. It allows you to take new inputs. And when you take those new inputs, those decisions that you know you've been pushing off aside, when you finally make that decision that you know in your heart you should be making, you enter literally a new reality. But the thing is, unless you make that decision, you're literally gonna have that open loop inside of your mind where you have that regret, even when you work out in the gym, even when you go to the job, even at times where you're potentially, you might go to, a gathering or all this different stuff. It's gonna lurk in the back of your subconscious mind that you should have taken in that action, right? And that's literally your higher self telling you, right? When you push off the lower self, the lower version of you, the emotional state, right? And you use your intuition, you use your higher self, it allows you to take the right action, which helps you monetize, right? Like the power of social media, the power of having a micro niche personal brand is insane. And as long as you're able to package that skill that you've learned into a system where you could make money, that's when you'll unlock a whole new world for you. That's when you'll unlock a new life where you could live wherever you want, right? Because think about it. If you've solved that painful problem, maybe you went from skinny to jacked, or maybe you went from fat to jacked, either or. If you could get in front of the right people, right? You have a system where you could get in front of the right people. People are gonna pay thousands for it, right? And you know it's possible because you see people moving to their dream city, literally doing it, literally turning their passion of going to the gym into an entire career. And they're able to basically not have a job, not have a boss, and have location freedom, right? They're able to become more fulfilled, right? But it all stems from taking in that leap of faith and really believing it's possible, right? This life is literally like a lucid dream. It literally is, right? Your thoughts direct your reality, right? If I close my eyes and I think about mangoes, now I know it's possible. I know mangoes are real, right? It's inside of Whole Foods. Now all I do is simply take the inputs, which is the action, walking into Whole Foods and buying the mango. Now I have it in my hand. That's my reality. Now I can bite it, right? It's the same concept. We do it even in little increment moments in our life but many people don't realize it. And I'm telling you guys, unless you have that urgency, you change your input, you're gonna be stuck where you are, right? And it's a trap. It's a trap that a lot of people are in, especially people who are in shape, fitness, like people who are jacked, right? They have this valuable skill, and they have the opportunity of a lifetime to literally make money off of their passion. But you guys, you're just stuck in this loop. So that being said, guys, if you're ready to exit this loop and you want my personal help to monetize your online fitness coaching business, so you can make money and live wherever you want, have location freedom and have time freedom, go down below and book a discovery call. But I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Only if you're serious.